I'm reminding myself, not you.
No cussing. Where are you?
Hi, Chris. Hi, Facebook Live. We're just testing our volumes right now.
Nikki. Rosemary. My sister's name was Rosemary.
She's all bragging.
It's an awesome name.
Yes, it's beautiful.
I knew a guy named Rosemary. She's going to start making stuff up.
All right. Who, me?
Yeah, you.
No, my sister's name was Rosemary.
Was?
Yeah, she passed away. She had an accident on 1604 and 151.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Thank you. I like rosemary seasoning.
Say the name.
Say my name.
That's okay. I won't dare sing.
Oh, okay, yeah. Go live.
Can I? Do I have to stay on there?
Yeah. I don't know why you wouldn't want to. How we doing, Chris? Oh, we're good. All right, folks. We're just waiting for Roman, of course.
Maybe he needs help.
He
Let me
always
go
needs
see.
help. Angelita made that joke because GPS has been her excuse about 6 times that she's been late so far.
It can send you in the wrong direction.
That's true.
It's
Was a
done that to
guy
me.
recently? They had a guy who. I know they've had train track incidents, but recently he was like, "It sent me the wrong way." So.
I don't know.
And Facebook Live, here's Roman Garcia right before we start the show.
Uh-huh.
I was walking carrying waters like this, trying not to spill on myself and make it a wet T-shirt contest up in here. So,
Interesting.
yeah, it always is because, well, we'll talk about it in a minute. But anyway.
Well, we have Lolly Burke watching.
Hey, Lolly!
We have Lisa Valdez.
I love it.
And
So
Black
sweet.
Belt Jones. Annie McBride is
Hey,
watching.
Annie.
Annie is watching.
Wow.
Wait a
You
minute.
should be here.
Isn't she supposed to be
Awesome
here?
sauce.
She's supposed to be here.
She's
What
supposed to-
happened?
yeah.
Week.
That's
I mean, she
weeks
couldn't be
ago.
here.
So, yeah, so I don't know if everybody already shared. Sorry, I'm just getting here. Let me share. Tune in. Autocorrect the me. What? Tune in. Now.
And Lolly says Nikki is a beast on defense.
Woo! Go, Nikki.
As long as I don't hurt myself.
In beast mode.
I'm no good at any of it, but
That's funny.
heck, I'm still here.
Was that you? Said that?
Okay.
Yeah.
There we
You're pretty good on defense. I remember last year.
Yeah, with
You're all like,
my
"Roar!"
shin and everything.
go. Okay.
Like a
All
fat
right.
kid going after, who took my cake? Roar.
Well, whenever Chris is ready.
He's ready.
Nah, just kidding.
Right.
Pardon me. Excuse me. Pardon me.
I guess I'm better at blocking than I am at catching that darn ball.
There you go.
Catching
ready?
that darn ball. That's right. Yes. Okay. All right. Welcome to Saturday Night Super Show, everyone. We are about 2 weeks into the new year, so I assume everybody has dropped their New Year's resolutions by now. So we're here to encourage you to maybe pick them back up. I don't know. Because, yeah, so I'm excited to be here. So just, like I said, trucking along. It still feels weird saying Happy New Year because like we're already, like I said, a couple weeks into it. But either way, Happy New Year still, everyone. We're going to have a great show. We got producer, co-host Mike here in studio. Magic Mike. I'm the only one clapping for him.
What am I supposed to do?
Yeah. And,
hello,
of
ladies.
course,
Hi, ladies.
intern / still figuring out what she does.
Double secret
Angelita
probation.
Rabago.
Can't do
here.
anything without me, though.
Right, that's true. She helped me with my water.
You can't do anything with her.
Right, yeah. Right, can't live with her, can't live without her. And a little later in the show, we have Merril Hoge calling in, who's a former NFL player, former ESPN analyst, and he wrote a book called Brainwash, The Bad Science Behind CTE and the Plot to Destroy Football, which has been a pretty controversial book because he's talking about a lot of these head injuries that people talk about that he's saying they're not really leading to all these later complications that people are talking about. And so he's going to talk about that. And so, of course, like I said, super controversial topic. But we also have in studio Rosemary Redman, who's the marketing public relations manager for the Blondes versus Brunettes football game to raise money and awareness for Alzheimer's research. So good to
Hello,
see you,
everybody.
Rosemary.
Welcome,
and then you
Rosemary.
also brought with
Thank
you,
you.
introduce yourself, please.
My name's Nikki Mattick.
Nikki Mattick, and your part with Blondes and Brunettes is what?
I'm just playing this year.
She's like, I
She's a
just
brunette.
tackle the hell out of people. So, okay. So, good to see you, Nikki. Okay, great. Well, we're going to have a lot of fun.
With purple hair.
And
You're going to have to nickname her Mongo Tackle.
right, yeah. Mongo, that's so funny. No, those games are always great because, like I said, I mean, they get pretty intense out there. It's just like, I don't know.
And that's just the male cheerleaders. Hey,
Right. Yeah. Y'all should have male cheerleaders. Why don't y'all?
They are.
Are you? Are you? That's you? Is that you, Mike? Is that
It's
where you come
Roman.
in?
No, I haven't told you yet, buddy.
That's right.
You and
Shirtless,
the other Roman.
baby oiled Roman out there,
Nice.
ruining your charity.
Ruining.
So yesterday,
Throw dollars, he'll put his clothes back on.
right, yeah. Loose change, whatever, So yesterday, Mike kind of took it upon himself to post a poll asking if I should do the show today without a shirt. And I don't know what the driver was behind this, Mike. Apparently, me posting a picture without a shirt recently.
The true
Explain yourself.
The true meaning is, I find anything that makes you uncomfortable hilarious.
Oh my God!
Because you take it,
It makes sense now.
you shove that fear and pain down, and it becomes comedy gold.
You're right, Mike. That's some good insight on your part because my first thought was going, no, I'm not going to do that. But then I went, why wouldn't you do it, Roman? Just freaking do it, right? And then I'm here thinking, when I posted about it, like freaking Mike is the one behind this thing. And then once I did all that, I just realized I just got suckered by Mike. I got completely suckered by Mike. So anyway. So what were our poll results? Because the thing was, if we had at least 100 votes, it was going to happen if they voted yes.
55%.
But right.
Because we're 550 KTS.
Yeah, 55%. And so we fell a little short of the 100.
Clearly, you're wearing your shirt.
Yeah, I'm wearing my shirt, right? It ain't too late. But
It could come off anytime.
Right.
But
You never know.
I do smell
Beware.
cocoa butter.
Cocoa butter. I've done the show without pants, so, it's a different story.
Well, we've talked about this.
Yes.
Over the totality that I've worked here as your producer, now co-host / producer,
Uh-huh.
you have been naked in this studio. Not all at the same time, but you have been completely naked.
I have, if you put it all together,
Yes.
I have been completely nude in the studio. That's correct. So,
So we had 60 people
60 people voted. It's not a bad number.
Not
And
bad.
the percentage was?
But let's see what the percentage.
77% said, take it off, Roman baby.
What?
23% says, no, I can't handle it. But what does that mean? Because you're too sexy.
Yeah. What does that really mean? Right. It almost sounds like everybody wants it off.
So it
almost-
was 46
Okay.
yes and 14 no.
Okay.
And the 14 mean people who said no are...
Yeah. Let's boycott it. Can we block them from our page for future?
Oh, Maxie Byrne.
Maxie Byrne said no.
You're
She
going to
said
call
no.
them out?
It's because she works
Adam-
with me.
Adam
and we've been
Ortiz.
friends a long time. Adam knows he wants it. Why does he act like he
Yeah, I
don't
know.
want it? Yeah.
Adam's like he's never
I
seen you
hope
naked.
they're watching right now. Yeah, Adam, right? Give me a
Yeah.
break.
And
I want to
don't-
see
I
Adam
don't know
naked.
anybody-
Come on, this is
I
fair.
don't know anyone else well enough to call them out.
To call
on the
them
air.
out. So, okay. Well, I'll look at that later. So, but at least I know now, Maxie and Adam, I'm going to message them.
But Jamie Kindred from Hondo,
Okay,
used to be
Jamie.
Hondo Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah, our friend Jamie.
She asked how many times she could vote.
Nice.
So-
See? I like
Team
that.
player.
Did she vote yes or
That's,
no?
that's the kind of love I'm looking for.
she was-
Just
she was
encouragement.
She was a yes.
encouragement and just support.
See, now you understand why not only is she married to a Marine, she's have children that are Marines. 'Cause she's all about it.
Yeah, she's just owning it. That's great. So thank you, Jamie, for being supportive, not like Adam and Maxie, which I will have a discussion with both of them. So, but no, see, that's the thing. Y'all are probably going, what are we talking about here, right? So I posted a picture the other day. Now, granted, right before the holidays, for the buñuelos and the tamales, of me kind of without a shirt, because I'd done a lot of weight loss through the past couple of years, and so there's a little bit of a buzz around that photo. So most of it highly complimentary.
Well,
I'll just leave it at that.
congratulations.
So, well, thank you. I do what I can. So, so anyway, so that was that was funny, Mike. Though you putting that out there. I wonder if my mom voted again. That would be weird.
I was half asleep when it popped in my head, so I was like,
I bet you were.
This has to be awesome,
Right.
If it's like when you're in that dream state,
Your best stuff
Exactly.
comes to you as you're nodding off. That's so funny. Well, okay. So either way, maybe hey, I may just take off one shirt. I got an undershirt.
Speaking of dream state,
Yes.
I fell asleep in the living room, and I woke up, and it was on Hallmark Mystery. Have you seen that channel?
I don't know. I've seen the Hallmark channel.
It's a Hallmark mystery and murder channel, whatever. And
Of course it is.
It was that TV show
Because
Heart
women
to
murder.
Heart.
Okay.
From the
Yeah, I remember
80s,
Heart to
remember
Heart.
that?
Yes.
Hard
And the guy's like, "This is Mr. H, and he's rich." You
Yeah.
know? And they're like,
This is Mrs. H.
And
Yeah.
she's such a
Yeah.
stand-up gal. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't even imagine how they pitched that show. Like, all right, look, they're rich, and they solve murders. And like, green light,
John,
make it. You know.
and make their name Heart to Heart.
Heart to Heart.
Their last name's Heart, and their Heart to Heart. Someone
And the guy
gold.
has the butler has to be someone you can barely understand half the time, and you're not even sure which country he's from.
Right.
Hey, Mr. Hot,
Right, yeah.
we've got another dead body. You know,
Another one? It's like every week. That's fun. I used to love that show, though.
Me too.
I used to. What was her name, Mrs. Hart? What's her real name? The actress. name?
Stephanie Powers.
Stephanie Powers,
Power.
man.
Pretty
Hot.
lady. Pretty
Hot,
lady.
Hot, smoking hot.
Pretty.
Stephanie Powers.
No, she's hot.
Look at that.
Pretty.
Pretty. She's pretty.
Women say pretty, guys say
No, we don't say hot.
because if she
She's
was
like,
if she was
right, she's pretty.
refined,
Pretty.
Pretty, I agree.
Pretty.
if we
yeah.
if she was just refined, to be like, she's a beautiful lady, but she was hot.
She was super hot. All right. So anyway, speaking of hot, I'm just kidding.
Speaking of Roman,
So, well, speaking of Mrs. Hearts and all that kind of stuff, and wives, and let's talk about mommies a little bit. Well, I guess dads too. And I'm glad I have ladies here in the studio so we can talk about this. There was this Yahoo news story, not written by Yahoo, but Yahoo news story. And it was talking about moms and dads who stay home to raise their kids and how they don't necessarily, I'm doing air quotes here for those listening, don't get made, that they don't earn a paycheck. But obviously they do a lot of the work that you would be paying someone to do, right?
Right.
You know, things around the house and running around and picking up kids and this and that. And I've seen these surveys before where they talk about how much would a stay-at-home parent actually be paid in the real world for what they're doing, the amount of time they're putting in, all the jobs they're doing. And so this one for 2018 said a stay-at-home parent would earn an annual salary of $162,581.
That makes sense. That's fair.
Is it fair?
Domestic
What do you think?
engineer.
What do
Yeah.
you think, Rosemary?
Yeah, I think so.
You think so? Okay. Thoughts?
I think that's a little high, but
Okay. What about you, Mike?
when you factor in just daycare alone, it gets
Okay.
up there fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
It
Now,
does.
now you're talking about someone who has to make food that is clean and nutritious.
Okay.
You're talking about traveling. Mom taxi, dad taxi.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
easily 80,000 plus. I don't know about the whole 100.
So, like for 2 or 3 kids, daycare would run about $80,000 a year.
No, I'm just saying everything in total.
Everything in total.
Okay.
Because
A
he's cooking,
daycare-
he's at home.
But
he's
at daycare,
she,
they
right.
feed them.
Mom or dad.
bathing them.
So,
Yeah,
what does
but-
but
daycare
it
cost
costs
per
money.
month for a kid?
It depends on the daycare that you're
Yeah.
sending
Could
them
be
to,
about
so-
800.
About $800 a month.
Yes, for
So-
one child.
For a decent.
Okay.
For one
Yeah.
So
child.
then let's say
If you've got
for
2
3
or-
kids,
Yeah.
that's about 2,400. Let's bump it a little bit. Let's say 3,000. So that's about $36,000 a year for daycare.
That's if they're not
They
in
cover
school.
breakfast and lunch, I guess.
Mhm,
Okay.
Of course.
And then you're doing dinner.
And snack.
Who's waking them up? Who's bathing them? Who's putting them in
Who's
clothes?
reading to them?
Who
Yeah.
makes
Well,
sure they
there's
don't get
also a
hurt?
part that's got to be like as a
Well-
parent, just kind of normal things you would do.
Right,
You
but
would
let's
think-
acknowledge
no, no.
the work that they put in.
But I get
Yes.
it. It's a lot of work.
It's
Because
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
washing
parents
clothes
are like,
Yes.
I fed them last week.
and all that stuff. And just the idea that really parenting's a kind of 24/7 kind of thing.
Yeah.
It
Right?
is.
Like, you start in the morning and in the evening you're still doing stuff.
Exactly.
10 o'clock, you're still getting stuff for them. You're still doing stuff.
And you're not just parenting, you're also maintaining the household
And
when you're at
teaching
home.
them.
That's
I
right.
mean, you're helping them learn.
And I agree. There's all that, but I really do think 162,000 is high.
Yeah, well, does your
My
wife stay
opinion.
home?
But
Oh,
And-
what's,
just kidding.
what city?
Well,
Oh,
yeah.
that's a good point too. What city?
Yeah.
That you're right. Would that be based on? So, and it's funny to say. Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't really say like what they took that off of. But my thoughts too were, because I've heard some people say, because I have male friends that are homemakers, and because their wives make a lot of money, and it made more sense for them to stay home versus vice versa. And then I've heard the women homemakers. But my thoughts too are like, as your kids get older though, there's less things you have to do for them to a certain degree. Right? Like once they're able to make get their own cereal and do their, bathe themselves. And so it's almost like,
Right.
so then would it be fair to say if you're a stay-at-home mom and your kids are teenagers that your salary should be less?
No, teenagers
No,
are more
worse.
trouble.
Yes, they're so much more difficult to take care of. I think the era between, I guess once they become toddlers and they're jogging, crawling and stuff.
They jog. They just start jogging.
Is that,
Yeah, you come from a really healthy
Yeah,
family.
yeah.
They're like, once they're 1 year old and they're doing squats and push-ups.
When they're
Wearing leg warmers.
when
Well, it's
they're-
called
when
cruisers, right? That's
Right.
what they're cruisers.
Right. I wish I
When
had
they're
some of those.
already crawling, that's
Right.
when I think
Yeah,
they
you have to
need
watch
the
'em.
most attention.
I agree
And
on that
then-
part.
You have
and
to
then
lock the
after that,
cabinets.
thank you. And then after that, I guess once between 5 and I guess 10, they don't really require a whole lot more maintenance. But
Right.
now
No
they're
matches,
learning.
no lighters.
Right. No. Yeah. Stuff that we should know. Right.
But
Yeah, because they
it's
kind of
those
become like
first years that are so
what were those, like
critical.
sea monkeys, where you can just kind of feed them and they kind of growing on their own.
Yeah,
you
sea
know,
monkeys.
sea monkeys. But no, you're right, because like
And you've got 5 sea monkeys.
I know, because like our kids are all kind of grown, but we got a grandbaby now, and he's now starting to walk, and he's getting around. So yeah, you got to watch every little thing, and he's all over the
Yes.
place, and so that's a lot of work, like all the
And
time.
we had
It
the
is a
Christmas
lot
party
more.
at your house.
Yes,
I just want to apologize.
good.
I thought he was okay with a knife. My bad.
Yeah, right.
It
yes.
was a butter knife.
You're
though.
bad. Right, correct. I'm like, Mike, if we could
he's
not give
stabbing
knives to the babies, that would be. I didn't think I had to say this.
Roman's like, hey, he's stabbing people. I was like, yeah, but the fine motor skills.
right, yeah, right. Think big picture, Roman. So,
Chucky's
but yeah,
his best friend.
right. So, but that's the thing, is they get older though. Like, so, and I say, like, with teenagers, like my daughter, my daughter works. She pays all her own stuff. She's about to start driving, and so she'll be driving herself. But she, she cooks for herself because she has certain things she likes to eat.
Yeah.
And so she cooks for herself, and so she's pretty low maintenance. So that's what I'm saying.
Right,
Like, as you get a
yeah.
little older, they become less. So anyway, I just thought it was interesting. I mean, again,
You
parenting.
just don't want to monitor what they're watching, what they're doing on the computer, that they stay home, who they're
Yeah.
hanging out with.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I saw a funny Modern Family yesterday, a little bit of it, where the boys, is it Diego or what's his name? Or I just assume
Pepe.
I assume he's
The
Diego.
kid.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Was it Juan? What's his
Juan.
name?
What's his name?
Anyway,
Juan.
He's from Houston.
a Mexican
What's up,
kid,
H-Town?
and him and the other kid, like, they skipped school, and then they came home, and they were checking something on the mom's laptop, and I guess the kid looked up a dirty picture,
There you
and then
go.
the
Love
screen
that
froze,
episode.
Oh, yeah.
and they were like, "How do we get rid of this?" And you're just like, the things that like teenagers and
Kids
kids
do.
will do.
Yeah,
The
just out of
that
curiosity.
just-
Yeah,
I'm amazed at the amount of things that my kids have confessed to me that they've done.
yeah.
Because I'm like, when I was young, no,
Yeah.
I wouldn't given up the
So
goods
that was
for nothing.
the Pepe was Manny
Manny.
and his cousin.
Manny.
or
What'd
his-
I call him? Diego.
Diego.
it sounded good.
Sorry.
Porfurio. what's your name? Porfurio.
My bad. That one
and
needs
his,
a sound
I guess
effect.
Estacio.
it's his Cleto. I guess is it his nephew technically?
I guess a cousin.
Yeah,
No, it's his nephew.
the guy. Yeah, the kid. Is like his nephew or something.
No,
Step-nephew.
So Manny,
Step-nephew.
Manny's
Yeah.
the
Right,
kid. the
yes,
other kid's-
because Manny is the grandfather's stepson.
Exactly.
So, yeah,
Right,
he-
yeah.
it would
Well,
be
that's
his
Luke.
nephew.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So Luke, that's something. That Luke's
That
the cousin.
dude, I don't care what
Skywalker.
it says. That kid is the smartest person on that set because it is hard to play stupid, and he does it so well.
He does. He does the little
Yeah,
lip thing
see,
like sometimes.
that's why I'm
right.
so important here.
You make a good
Yeah.
point, Angelita. Right.
Well,
she's off.
you don't play
But he's
stupid that
acting.
well.
That's where it comes in. And now the angry emails.
and now she cries.
And now the angry emails. Why do you treat her like that?
Okay, so we
You know.
have Chicago's watching. Michelle
Oh.
Medina.
We got Chicago,
Chi-town.
H-Town.
Lolly says, "Oiled men, I'm going."
Nice.
And
Okay.
Black Belt Jones
Oil or
says,
butter?
"Take it off, Roman."
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Get a little bit. Get a little bit. You like that?
And
After
then
the
it's a
break.
hot
After
pink
the
shirt.
break. I
underneath.
know, right?
Like,
How
whatever.
manly. Right? How manly.
Hot pink.
My Bobby, this is my favorite shirt. My favorite undershirt.
I think he planned that.
So, right, it just so happens, right? It's got the logo of a sponsor. Like, well, he happened to have that on his
Ooh,
undershirt.
that's
So,
an
right.
Oh, hey.
Hey,
So
speaking
when
of-
we do have people vote enough to have you take off a shirt, we'll carve the logo in your chest hair.
Yeah.
Or we could use just a
Thinking-
permanent marker.
like how you assume I have chest hair.
I've seen the pictures.
Or enough. No, you're right.
How do you know, Mike?
You know,
know.
it's funny. That's an interesting
I
point.
know.
Not that you ladies care to hear about this at all, but I was doing like the lasering thing,
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
I was like
The hair laser removal?
maybe baby smooth,
Yeah, yeah.
What,
Skin on
Mike? What are you
skin.
laughing at?
Elizabeth Martinez says, "Release the beast."
Elizabeth is so funny. Oh my gosh, she cracks me up. But no, I was doing that, like the lasering, and because I was like, oh, I'm just gonna like not have to be. I don't want to be that hairy guy, right? That hairy guy. But then I thought, you know what? I'm just gonna embrace my manliness, So I don't do the lasering. Now I'm just
Unnatural.
Sasquatch. No.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying. Decided to own it, right?
Yeah.
Now, granted, I'm not doing like, like right now, I don't know if you've seen where January's been nicknamed January for
No.
the women who are not shaving their armpits for January.
Or
Have you seen
That's
that?
weird.
Or legs too?
Yeah.
Is that the thing? Oh my gosh, that's
Are
a
they
lot of things
trying
are
to, like,
making
go
a lot
European,
of things are
or
making
what's
sense
going
right
on?
now. No,
What is it?
So,
The European
well, they were
thing,
doing it to
or
raise
movement?
awareness for, was it for cancer? It was something.
How does that bring any kind of awareness?
I
know.
don't know.
Because
don't
when you're
understand.
going,
It's like No Shave November.
everyone's paying attention to you. So
I don't know what it is. Now, granted,
I will gag.
yeah, different cultures or different things. They
Right,
do
yeah.
things different ways.
Yeah.
But it's funny because I saw an article though where now some women were
And Mike
saying,
likes German women.
yeah,
Yeah,
he likes,
boy.
right, he likes women who could take down trees.
yes,
Right. It's a matter of
And
survival.
hairy
It's a matter of
armpits.
survival. So that some women were saying if women don't shave their armpits, American women, and it was really actually specifically saying white women, if you don't shave your armpits, that's racist.
the
That's
terrorists will win.
That it's like it's a cultural appropriation thing from some. I was.
What do you think, Nikki?
I'm so
I think that's
confused
ridiculous.
with these
Right?
comments. It's like, wait a
Yeah.
minute, they're doing something for a good cause,
Right,
And then
okay.
you want to come out and just to have a reason to get yourself,
Knock people
you know,
down.
make a viral article or a viral video or viral something. You want to complain and say everything's racist. Oh, I'm so
Oh,
burned out on that. It's like,
goodness.
oh my
Yeah, I
gosh,
agree,
like,
I agree.
not everything is racist. Not everything's cultural appropriation. You know
Right.
what? I have white friends that own Mexican restaurants. Like, it doesn't matter. If you're good at it, you're good at it. And you know what? Appreciate the fact that, someone is like, hey, I like that thing. Now,
Yeah,
granted,
hairy
don't be a
armpits.
Rachel Dolezal, which a lot of people were talking about that because she was supposed to come to town for Dream Week. You remember Rachel Dolezal?
Yes.
Am I saying it right? And
Close
so
enough.
I think so.
Yeah.
Where
well,
if
do I
y'all-
guess because they
yeah, well, if y'all remember, Rachel
Remember her?
Dolezal was the one who she had.
Okay.
She was a president of a chapter of the NAACP, and it winds up she was really white, and she had been presenting herself as black,
White.
and so like mighty
She was-
white, and so right,
Oh,
Yes?
because she went to the tanning salon, or
she did all that.
Well-
she darkened her skin, she did her hair,
Really?
and she
Ron Howard, the director, said, "Damn, she's white, so she's mighty white."
right. And Ron Howard says it. So yeah, right.
When
Damn,
Opie
she's
calls you white,
and
you're
then
white.
his name Ron Howard, like it's just a quote. So but no, she was white, and so in her case, you could say she was taking positions and opportunities that
Right.
should have gone to someone who was legitimately black.
Yes.
And so her thing was like later when it got her parents are the ones that like busted her.
Yeah,
like they're the ones
called
that
her
put it out
out.
there. And then so she was like, I love the culture. Okay, great. You can love the culture. But
Yeah.
if you're passing yourself on as
Something you're
else and you're taking opportunities, that's not cool.
Yeah,
and so,
not cool.
Which
that
is
I
a
can
double
see.
standard.
Okay.
Trying to not to get all political, but basically she was doing blackface 24/7.
Correct.
While there's other celebrities who did blackface for
A
a
film
party
or a
or a
part,
film,
yes,
and
yeah.
people lose their minds.
No, yeah,
so
that's
you know?
exactly right. And so, yeah,
Oh.
so, and it's amazing, though, the amount of
Okay.
support, though, that she's gotten from some people regarding what she did. And then, of course, a lot of them were angry. That's why she didn't come speak in San Antonio, was because they did a petition and a protest, whatever, for her to not come. So, anyway, our good friend, speaking of Elizabeth, actually had the opportunity to speak to her.
Oh, really?
And Elizabeth brought up about us talking to her on the show, and I'd love to at some point if we can. Because
For Rachel?
Yeah, because I'd love to hear her side of where did this even start to get
Right,
to that
where-
point?
and
'Cause-
then-
okay, full disclosure, I'm not really Mexican.
I'm white.
Really
Right.
white. So
I think
You're Asian.
I do have
I
family
think
from Ireland.
Angie and I were talking about this the other day. I knew a guy who everyone thought he was Hispanic. He was Hungarian,
Hungarian.
Oh, yeah.
and he was in the army. They're like, "Well, you're Mexican." He's like, "No, I'm Hungarian."
Oh.
Close enough.
Right. I'm hungry too.
Well, look at
So-
the guy from Queen.
What about
Freddie
him?
Mercury?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he didn't. He was like, I always thought he was white.
Well, he never presented himself as a certain thing. Like if people just assume things.
Yeah.
Just like a friend of mine who she recently discovered she's Greek. She didn't know her real dad.
Oh,
She
yeah.
found him through that 23andMe.
That's right, we talked about that.
And then
Yeah.
it winds up they're Greek. She thought she was Mexican.
Yeah.
Weird, right?
Interesting.
So
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. It's
So
just
what do you
like,
do when you're lied to?
You just never do. What do you do when you're lied to?
What do you do?
Just
Ladies, what do you do?
break down and cry? Yeah.
Hashtag lied to.
right. Have you ever been lied to? Hashtag lied to. No,
Yeah.
So
You know what Lolly said?
Hashtag Mike lied to me. Let's see what happens.
You know
Hey,
what?
Mike.
I know what women really want is they want that Wonder Woman lasso of truth, right? That golden lasso, because she has that thing, right? She puts it around you,
Yeah.
and you
You
have
have
to
to
tell
tell
the
the
truth.
truth.
Yeah.
Women would
Talk
murder
slower.
to have
Die.
something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's like you can't handle the truth, So
Lolly said that the ladies in blondes versus brunettes shave.
they all shave.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who said
Well,
that?
good.
Lolly.
Oh.
Yeah. Well,
She said
good.
they
Thank
shaved.
you. I'm glad. Even more reason to
wax.
support the
Or
event.
wax.
Yeah, even more reason to support it. But on that note, why don't you tell us real quick about the coming up event, how people can get started now to get involved and support and all that.
Awesome, sure. So we will be having our fifth game this
Awesome.
year. I think the fifth anniversary game is this. It's going to happen on
March 2nd.
March 2nd.
March
yes,
2nd.
and it is part of the. And it's going to be. Thank you. It's going to be at Cornerstone School.
Okay.
Located at 17702.
Got a nice field out there.
Yep, Northwest Military. And if you want to sign up, you can go to our website and select
website?
a team. And our website is, let's see, Blondes. Let's see, I have it here. I'm so sorry.
No,
Is
go right
it
ahead.
the,
While she's doing that, I'll tell you they do have a new Twitter and Instagram at BVBSA.
Yes.
Yeah,
ALZ.
that's what I was going to say.
VB.
B
Like
VB,
blondes versus brunettes.
Blondes versus brunettes.
Right.
SA San Antonio.
SA.
ALZ, the abbreviation for Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's. Okay. Dang, it's like I'm trying to break into some mystical doorway.
Harry
right?
Potter.
Hey, BBBV.
And Red Fox shows up. What'd you come in for?
No, but that's true. Blonde versus brunettes. So BBV, SA, ALZ for Alzheimer's.
Right. And then you would select whether you want to join the brunette team or the blonde team.
Okay.
And then you raise your money and come to practice every Saturday.
And it's so much fun. The game's a lot of fun, and then afterwards everybody hangs out, does a little after party thing, and that's a lot of fun. And so, what time does the event actually start on that day if people just want to come watch?
The game? It's at 1 p.m.
Okay, so good. It's kind of early in the day, and so people, if they don't join though, they can just donate, right? Can they donate
Correct.
through the site?
Yes,
and
through
all
the
that?
site. Most of the players will start posting and sending out their own
fundraising
page, and you can donate. But you don't have to donate directly under a player. You can actually go to the actual site and just choose to donate blindly, and it'll all go to the same cause.
Okay, that's awesome. And and you guys have been doing this for years now, and the numbers just keep getting better and better.
Yes, they
And
keep
it's getting more
keep
popular.
growing. Yes.
How many years have you been playing?
This will be my third year on the team. Last year I was actually on the injured roster, so didn't get to
Oh,
play.
that was you.
Oh, yeah.
That was me.
injured
Were you the one that fell down or
I
car
was
accident?
I was the one that broke my leg at practice.
Oh,
Gosh.
Yeah, that had to hurt.
Told you, y'all get
Debbie
intense.
Downer.
You get intense. It
Hey
gets
guys,
intense.
don't mean to break everything up, but my
Right,
bone's
yeah,
sticking out.
right.
Like,
right.
someone call an ambulance.
Right.
Set up for the next play.
I don't mean to be that girl, but my leg's broken.
Hey, it's a lot of fun, but it gets pretty rough out there.
Sure.
Well, it's
It
physical
does.
activity.
That's awesome. That's football. It's
Yeah.
football.
You stay fit.
Yeah. No, but you guys,
And
y'all,
you do get hurt.
y'all do a great
Yeah, we
job.
get hurt.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a good cause.
And,
It is, definitely.
And like, y'all have a DJ out there, and there's music and all
Very
kinds of
nice.
crazy stuff.
Well,
And
last year, Roman and Klepto were calling the plays.
yeah, we were calling the plays, and then the year before too. So I think that was our second year last year doing it, and then so I don't know about this year.
No
I was
alcohol,
kidding.
right?
I was kidding.
No vodka?
It depends. How big's your
We
purse?
won't be serving vodka.
BYOB.
Annalita, we're trying to do something family friendly. Yeah, so getting all,
Yeah, I know, but
getting
I'm
all
like
crazy.
talking about vodka.
Vodka. So, yeah, but if you do sneak in some vodka, you want to sneak in some awesome Tito's vodka, let's get a quick word from them.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito set out to build a microdistillery, incorporating elements of artisan craftsmanship from boutique wineries into the spirits industry. Pot distilled, made from corn, Tito's is naturally gluten-free, crafted in Austin, Texas, to be savored by spirit connoisseurs and everyday drinkers alike. For Tito's recipes, infusion ideas, Tito's swag, or to learn more about our story, visit Tito'sVodka.com. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, crafted to be savored responsibly.
All right, and we're back. We're talking about how
we go.
Rosemary's having a hard time reading her notes because she can't see anything. And Mike, you're right.
It's
This
an
is
18
really
font.
This is really big
18
font. I
font.
can read this perfectly, and I had my eyes dilated yesterday for my exam.
Well, Angelita had it out like 15 feet out. Is that a T or a L?
That's funny. Yeah.
So I concluded y'all are just old.
There's
I
just
am
something
old.
going on with the eyes there. Eat a carrot already. Yeah, so like yesterday, because yesterday they dilated my eyes. I went to, because I'm going to get LASIK like at the end of the month. I'm so
Yeah.
excited, man. Enrique.
I'm gonna get that too.
Are you?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, no, we should do it as a team.
Yeah,
and
let's
so I tell you what, I'm so excited because I find that sometimes I'm driving, especially if I'm tired too. It
You
starts
can't
to
read
affect
the
me.
sign?
And sometimes I have a hard time reading the signs. Or like when I'm
So
reading a
you-
book, I've started to use readers, and I hate it
Yeah.
because it gives me a headache.
Now I know you're
Exactly.
lying.
Yeah.
And so, why? 'Cause
About-
you've never seen a picture of me in my readers?
I've never seen you read a book.
they're picture books. All the little dinosaurs look fuzzy. So, but no, like Sean here, he's had his done, and I have a number of friends that have done it. But yeah, so I'm going to be doing that out at Enrique, and those guys are so good. When I went out there yesterday, they really did, all kinds of looking at my eyes and checking everything. And,
Yeah.
and it was funny because they were telling me, like, one eye, they go, okay, Roman, one eye is like, I guess I'm
Different vision.
farsighted in one
Yeah,
eye,
yeah.
and then the other eye had something else going on. And then they go, but the reason you have it hasn't gotten so bad is because one
It's
is like
overcompensating
negating
for
the other,
Yeah.
and whatever. And it made me feel like
So
a
you look kinda
superhero. Like,
cross-eyed.
my body's counterbalancing. Like I was all like, yeah, it's fighting itself. So.
Who are you? I'm cross-eyed.
Right. They call me cross-eyed. So, but yeah, it was funny the way he goes. But eventually, it's going to be like really bad. So I'm going to be doing that at the end of the month. I'm so excited. And
Wow.
and they said
That's
it's like
awesome.
you're in there for like a minute and
Yeah.
just do it. And they
It's
like
quick.
like they said, like reshape your whole cornea. Like it's crazy the technology now
Wow.
to do stuff. And but it was funny because then I was in there, and they're checking your eyes, and like they got that machine and the light, and it just feels weird anytime anybody's doing anything around your eyes.
Yeah,
like
it's
it's just
And they're
Yeah.
they're always so quiet.
right. It's very
Yeah.
weird.
You're like, how about now? You're like,
Right.
I'm afraid, but yes, it's better.
Right. I just don't want to die. So, but when they're doing those vision tests too, it's kind of like it's checking your pride too a little bit. When they're like, "Can you tell us the furthest line you can see and
It's
read it?"
like,
And I'm
yeah,
determined, man.
yeah.
I'm trying to go all the way down, and I probably like I said it like real confident, like the line I could barely see it, but I was probably way
Now,
off.
you want to make them laugh. Well, they're like, the lowest one you can see, like, made in China.
Nice. Yeah.
That's a good
That would be
one.
awesome. Yeah, that would be so funny. So, but it was really interesting. So I'm just getting all kinds of fixer-upper stuff done on myself. I feel like I'm it's like a. Remember, like that show "Pimp My Ride"? It's like "Pimp My Roman." Like I'm doing all kinds of
Oh
stuff.
yeah, you
Six
are.
I'm
Imaging
lasering
yourself.
things. I'm
You and
fixing
Mark
things.
Wahlberg, $6
You're like
billion men.
Right, exactly
Transformer.
Right.
You're-
I just want to say
We,
thank
we
God
have
for
the technology.
right. Thank God for lasers. Like lasers do so much for everything
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
A laser.
Lasers.
So
Laser.
yeah, I was seeing that the other day, the Austin Powers one. And it's the laser. But no, like they can do so many things
Everything.
now. I remember one time I got a piece of metal stuck in my eye. This
Oh,
was
yeah, that
weird.
hurts.
I was I think I was drilling something, and
Okay, so kids at home, he was not using proper safety
right,
PPE.
I was not correct. Kids, right? Always use safety goggles. 'Cause I wasn't, and then later, I was irritated, and it was like for a couple days. So I went to the doctor, and sure enough, they go, "You got a sliver of metal like in your eye," and I thought,
Ouch.
"I'm going blind. That's it. I'm losing an
Yeah,
eye.
yeah.
I've learned my lesson."
I'm a pirate.
Right? Arg, arg, are you serious? So, in my eye, you see, maybe. So, he's already poured out Captain Morgan in my leg up on the thing. He's like, "Sir, please sit back down." And,
And put your pants back
right,
on.
put your back on, Captain
This
Morgan.
is ophthalmologist,
Right, yeah.
not proctologist.
Right. It's not that kind of office. Yeah, this is sounding like an interesting script starting here. So what they did was like they used like a magnet to get this sliver out of my eye. And it was so weird. Like they had to have something hold my eye open, and they bring this magnet, and it literally with the magnet, like it took the sliver out. It's so weird.
Old school.
And then your eye just kind of heals itself. It's amazing how your body
One of the fastest
can do that.
healing organs in our body.
Yeah, because when they were saying that, like, okay, Roman, they go, well, we're going to do with your eyes. We're going to make one adjusted to see farther and one adjusted to see clear up close. Which you think, okay, I'm going to squint, right? And they go, well, no, you're going to have use both eyes, and your brain is going to adjust to this.
Wow.
And everything's going to be clear all the time.
Well, actually, your brain's going to adjust. We hope.
Right.
We hope.
Right. For other people,
For
their
normal
brain
people.
has adjusted. I'm going to come in and go, it's gone worse. I'm checked. I'm like, yeah, I'm seeing close things far things close. Like, yeah. So,
Dr. Manrique is like, what's his number? I need to call him right now. What's his
right.
number?
Just tell him no. Tell him no. We're not doing it. No, but I'm excited. But they said, yeah, your brain adjusts to the vision. And again, it's got me thinking like, man, it's amazing how our bodies can adjust to things and just,
your brain adjusts.
your brain
strange, right?
adjusts, Angelita.
Sometimes I can't tell when she's being sarcastic, when she's being genuine.
I know, right?
You're like, that's interesting. To me, I heard, yeah, shut up.
Right, Roman. Wow, Roman, things we already knew, right? Like, right. That's like, yeah, something like her.
She's all like, thanks, PBS.
I'm still trying to get my brain to adjust to Angelita.
Yeah.
So, let me find a.
She prefers Angie now.
Find a sound effect for you.
Whatever.
I still got that sound effect thing Angelita gave me.
Whatever.
I love it. That's so irritating.
Actually, that's good because whenever a woman says whatever, you're in trouble.
Oh, yeah. There's certain terminology, right? Like, what's like, no, go ahead and go. That's fine.
Yeah, no, go do it.
Is it?
Yeah,
Do it.
go
Is
ahead.
it?
Do
Yeah,
it. Go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
You're
Right.
like, oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Or,
That's exactly.
Yeah.
And then you know what I say to that? I'm going to go do it. I'm going to enjoy myself because I know it's going to be bad when I come back.
No, you might as well make the most of it because if you're going to be in trouble,
Hey,
you might as well. Yeah, right. You might as well just go with it. So, okay. Well, I tell you what, we've been talking about this. That we were going to have an awesome guest calling in, Merril Hoge, who's a former NFL player and former ESPN analyst. He's got a great book out called Brainwash: The Bad Science Behind CTE and the Plot to Destroy Football. And he's had a super busy schedule. He's been doing television all over the place, a lot of radio stuff, and just really talking about this book. And so we're so excited to have him on the show today. So welcome, Merril. Good to talk to you. How are you, sir?
I'm fantastic. Good to be a part of the show, guys.
Yeah, welcome to the Saturday Night Super Show. Round of applause,
Welcome.
everybody. Round of applause for. Why am I the only one clapping?
Welcome.
Everybody's got stuff in their hands. Thank you.
Go
Come on, let's get
Steelers.
it together. Let's go.
Yeah, come on. Come on, team.
Where's our coach? Where's
Go
our
Steelers. Go
Right.
Steelers.
Merril, I need you to come down here and whip them into shape. They're just not listening. So, but you've been making the rounds down here in San Antonio. I see you were on a lot of the morning shows down here this week.
Yeah.
And,
Had a good time down there.
yeah,
San
San Antonio's a great city, and so I appreciate you taking the time. I know, we were trying to catch in between all this stuff you're doing to promote and talk about the book and get people to listen, because really, it is pretty controversial, I guess, based on what you're hearing out there. Kind of mainstream talk is that, hey, football bad, causes this, and we need to do all this other stuff. And you're basically saying, well, not necessarily, guys. Some of this science, some of the research might not have been all that people thought it was. So, first of all, for those who don't know your whole background, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and some of your history so people can know that you do know what you're talking about when it comes to this stuff?
Well, listen, I've been a part of football for 40 years as a player, coach, a parent. I've played every level of football, coached every level of football. My son, I've coached him, and he started age 7. He's now junior at BYU, still playing football. Started coaching camps and doing camps in 91. Started doing stuff in youth football in 2003. Went to Congress in 2009, tried to get them to recognize we need to do stuff for our kids, do protocols for all sports, not just football, by the way.
Sure.
So my career ended due to head trauma, but it was about improper care, which I tried to make a change in the NFL, which we did. But then that obviously led to us really doing stuff and being proactive for our kids and being creating a better, safer environment in youth football.
Yeah, wonderful. And then you've worked as an ESPN analyst, and you've done all these types of things. And so you're just so heavily involved with everything still. You're seeing a lot of things. You're seeing a lot of new players. You're seeing stuff that happens. And so what made you decide that you needed to really dig into this and do all the research you did and write this book?
Well, this is probably going to resonate with everybody because you've all probably seen the headlines, read the headlines, and you said a few of them. You say it's controversial. It is controversial if you let the media drive it and the headlines drive it.
Right.
It's not controversial if you look at the scientific literature.
Okay.
And as soon as I established that, and the reason I want to establish that, in this journey of neuropathology, my stuff, looking at neuropathologists across this country and into Canada, being a part of the media for 30 years in every facet, I have yet to find anybody who has read the scientific literature.
Wow.
On the media aspect, and that was disturbing.
Amazing.
Because when you're asked, hey, you just said, I think even in your you're talking to use cause or linked, okay? Those words don't exist in the scientific literature, but they're flooded in the media. So if you ask somebody, where did you get that? Why don't you support what you just said, whether it's a cause or a link, with the scientific literature, meaning the scientific research and studies that support what you just said?
Okay.
They don't have it.
Wow.
They don't have it.
Wow.
They can't find it. And that's when it became disturbing, that when neuropathologists that I met with said, hey, listen, Merril, because I'd ask him, I'll go, listen, I see, concussions cause CT. Now, these doesn't make sense to me. Keep in mind, I'm around hundreds and hundreds of former NFL players every year. Okay? They are healthy, happy, successful. Is there a tragedy here and there? Yes, there is.
Right.
But when you look at our suicide rates compared to societies, we are a fraction of what society suicide rates are. They're below. They are healthier, happier, more successful NFL players. But that's not what you see in the media.
Right.
So when I started to ask them what it was, and they kept saying, Merril, we're just observing it. We have no idea what causes it. And we have no idea what it causes. And we got cases in the literature, medical literature. There's only 300 cases in the entire world, too, by the way. It isn't like there's 3 million.
Wow. Yeah. My impression is there's just thousands and thousands here.
Right.
And they have excluded the female gender to this point. So tell me how you, in your rightful mind, can exclude half the population and think you have any answers whatsoever. But the research that the pattern that people they found this in, that never played football, never had a history of head trauma, and never played contact sports. When I started to read about those cases and neuropathologists started talking to me about them, I'm like, why don't we hear about those?
Right.
And that's when they'd say, that's why we keep telling, listen, this is the scientific community screaming.
Yeah.
We're observing it. We have no idea what causes it. And that's what I want people to understand. They have no idea. They, meaning the neuropathologist. And if somebody says, because I've had somebody mention that I was denying CT, and I'm like, okay, first of all, then you didn't read the book, because I explained what it is right in the very beginning, number one.
Right.
And here's what a denier is. A denier is somebody that's unwilling to look at all of the facts before they make an evaluation. And that's very troublesome in the journalistic world when journalists aren't even reading the scientific literature.
Right.
They're not even doing their due diligence so they can present that to all the people that may be reading it or listening to them. And that's why this narrative has gotten to where it is today, because that part of it's happened. And I could give you thousands, a lot of examples, let's put it this way. But one that the media always leans to is like, well, Ann McKee said after one study that she's got to believe all football players have it. And that was a quote from her, from a particular piece of literature she wrote in a study they did. And do you know what that scientific literature says when you read the paper?
No.
Here's what it says. First of all, the methodology in it is about the lowest grade, bottom barrel level of science you could ever do, number one. But these are the words in it. Caution. You can't use this study that they just did because of the methodology and the biased brains and all of just the real crooked science that they did to give anybody any sense or degree of the disease, CTE. So that's in the scientific literature that she was asked about. Then to be quoted in the media and say, I got to believe after the study that I just wrote that says, caution, you can't use this, and a whole host of other things. She says, I got to believe all football players have it. Well, what do people read in the paper? They read that quote by a doctor who has signed a Hippocratic oath to do no harm.
Right.
She's contradicted her own science work.
Right.
So I did have somebody in the media question me on that. He's like, shouldn't we believe the doctor? And I'm like, you know what, that I agree. I'll give you half a hall pass.
Sure.
Yes, you should. And that's where she's done grotesque harm, abusive harm, especially to the Hippocratic oath. But I go, you should have go read the literature that she wrote, though, that she was referring to.
Yeah, read the whole thing.
If you would have read it, you'd have read that caution. You can't use this. And you don't have to understand methodology, but the language in it, you would never see anything about, I got to believe all. There would be no evidence in that paper that would even give you, somebody that's somewhat of a layman in the science world, any indication that they could say that in the public forum, yet they still do it.
Now, do you think a lot of like you said, not either misinformation or incorrect information or not the full story, is it due to laziness, or do you think there really is, because of the times we're living in, a drive to, take football down a couple of levels, and because it is like some people say, it's a brutal, tough sport, and I think the age we live in, where it's like it's seen as it's a violent sport, or it's just, do you think that has to do with part of it, or what are your thoughts?
Oh, yeah, most of that, absolutely. I just told you how many times in the media already I would say, hey, listen, what scientific papers have you read?
Right.
None. Okay, well, I don't even know how you could possibly know.
Right.
That's kind of what set me on the journey. If I'm going to speak on it, I'm going to know about it. And I really did this from a parent perspective, quite honestly, because I just wanted to know true facts, to be honest with you. But it led to a book because I found that massive discrepancy. And then you kind of talked about, is there a deliberate ignorance? Is there a deliberate agenda? I can absolutely, with 100% certainty, and I can give you an example that happened right out of the bat after I launched the book. Mm-hmm. Kristen Brennan from USA Today called me and wanted to do an interview about the book.
Okay.
So she immediately attacks me about, can't believe you're denying CT and you'd write a book on this. I'm like, did you read the book? Mm-hmm. She says, no. I said, now, wait a minute. You're going to do an evaluation of the book and you didn't even read it from a journalistic perspective. Do you know how just absurd that is?
Right.
I had Dr. Cummings with me, who helped me write the book, is the scientist behind it, a 3-board certified forensic professor, was trying to explain to her about the scientific literature, because she's kept claiming that this Mayo Clinic paper was a controlled study, which it's not. It's from a diseased brain bank. There's a whole bunch of garbage in the methodology. She wouldn't listen. She didn't want to hear it. She kept bringing up the NFL, and see, I recorded the interview for this reason. I said, I didn't do it for the NFL, Kristen. Would you please quit saying the NFL?
Right.
I'm not talking about the NFL. It's not for the NFL.
Right.
So we go back and forth. We talk about all the sports, all the ways you can get head trauma. Mm-hmm. I said, Kristen, don't you realize, okay, this is not just football or even sports. This is just, and this can happen in any environment. I go, why do you keep bringing the NFL up? Why are you so adamant about rubbing it in their face or bringing them up? Quote, she goes, because it's the big ticket. Wow. I said, so wait a minute. So you're going to ignore all this information we want to help educate you on, so that when you write, your readers now have all of the information. You want to absolutely deny that, ignore that, not receive that. Well, that's deliberate ignorance from the journalistic perspective that honestly, I didn't think I would be quite there.
Amazing.
But to hear it and listen to it and hear the deliberate act of doing it was just, I've run into a bunch of things that are troublesome, but
I think just
that
like
one became one of those.
Yeah, just like with anything, for someone to say, I'm going to make this call, I'm going to have this position, but I only want the information that supports my position, it's just ignorance. And so I think that's why people do need to at least read your book, and they can make their own determinations based on the information afterwards. And so people just need to get it. So, and so the book is available through what outlets?
Well, I think one of the best things to do is to actually go to the website that I have. And here's why I want you to go to the website. Okay. And it's not to buy the book, although you can do it there. It's brainwashedbook.com. But I put the scientific papers up for people to read. I want them to educate themselves. Don't believe me, but if you may not know how to get the scientific papers, get them. Right. Read them so that you can make an evaluation yourself. And people go, I get this a lot, like people go, you trying to change my mind? I'm like, absolutely not.
Right.
I'm not interested to change your mind, but I do want to open your mind to all the facts.
Right.
If you're going to make a decision in life, wouldn't we all want to know all the information?
Sure. Why wouldn't you? Right.
To be empowered about it, especially if it's about our kids.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, I want to know all the facts. And that's, that's largely what sent me on the journey. It's when I found how disturbingly and grotesquely different the narrative in the main media was versus what the scientific papers were saying that drove me to write the book.
Yeah. So brainwashedbook.com, and people can go out there, look at the papers, and if they want to get the book, they can get it through there. People also, they can follow up with you through merrilhoge.com, MERRILHOGE.com. That's your website, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, awesome. Well, that's some great information, Merril. I mean, I appreciate you sharing that with us. Like I said, for me, for someone who just kind of has been hearing the stories, and Will Smith made a movie and all this stuff. Like that's all I'm kind of hearing. So, so thanks for sharing that. But I will also go out check that out myself, and we'll keep up on kind of the progress here as you're kind of sharing this information and research.
Absolutely. Reach out to me anytime. Thank you guys for having me on the show and allowing your listeners to hear options so they can get all the information.
Awesome.
Thanks, Merril.
That's
Thank
exactly
you.
right. Thank you, Merril. Appreciate it. Have a great
you,
day,
guys.
sir. Thank you.
Take care.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
All right. Merril Hoge, everybody. That was really interesting.
Very
Really
interesting.
interesting. And it's funny, like I said, where some people can be so opposed to just getting the information. It's like, you know what? Just read it. Listen to it.
With just the number of cases that he mentioned, it was kind of like, I
thought
didn't know it was only 300.
Right. I thought it was.
I've fought 300 people before.
Right. At one time. They made a movie
In your
about
dreams.
it. Right. With my abs.
The Carnegie Southern
They
Wars.
showed my abs. So, oh my gosh, that's crazy. So, yeah, really interesting. Well, that was cool. So,
Well, every story has two sides.
That's
all
right.
right.
Yeah.
Actually,
Hey.
there's three sides. His side, her side, and the truth.
That's right. That's right. All right. Well, speaking of other controversial issues, let's get a quick word from our sponsor, Bridal Connection.
Bridal Connection at Stone Oak will help you find your perfect dress for your perfect day. Consistently voted bridal favorite by San Antonio Weddings Magazine, Bridal Connection offers amazing high-end designs without high-end pricing. Located on the 1604 Access Road between Highway 281 and Stone Oak, or online at bridalconnectionsa.com. Call 210-967-4696 to set your appointment today. Bridal Connection at Stone Oak, your perfect dress for your perfect day. 967-4696.
So I just want to say,
yes,
I cuss like 2 seconds before going back on the air once, and every time we come back now for commercial, you look at me like, "Hey, shut your mouth."
Hey, right, stop talking, Mike. I don't need all those curse words. And so, our friend Annie McBride snuck in during the Merril Hoge segment.
Well, not
She's
so
like,
much snuck.
No, that's right. She
'Cause
comes
you
in
like-
all loud.
She walked in. Hey, everybody, what's going on?
It's like-
Annie's here. Party started.
Right, we're in the middle of.
She barged in.
We're in the middle of, and then we're talking
a very serious topic,
Right.
and Annie's like, "What's going on, fool?"
super serious, right? Super serious. She comes in like crazy.
Starts punching people in the guts.
And then Angelita's over there laughing at something herself, and her mic's on, and Meryl's talking about something, and you hear Angelita laughing, and I'm just like, what is going on in
Yeah,
this
and then I created
studio?
the cough. I was,
Yeah, see? Right. That's what you get. Karma. So, anyway, but...
So who are you, Annie McBride?
Annie McBride.
I'm a girl. I'm just a girl.
I'm just a
'Cause
girl
I'm just a girl.
in the
I'm
world.
some chair of the San Antonio Blondes versus Brunettes this year.
You guess?
I guess. Pretty much.
Okay. Are you... So,
Chair.
you excited to play?
You sit in a chair?
I'm excited.
Excited to tackle some people?
Excited to play. And I'm excited because we're a longest day event this year.
That's
And
awesome.
what's really cool about that is you can pretty much do any kind of activity being a longest day event.
We got
How much
it.
did y'all raise last year through
No.
all this kind of
Like,
campaign?
don't choke her.
Right. Speak.
No, we can hear you.
Great. How much
You
did
can
you
hear me.
raise last year?
How much?
Do you know?
Like 16,000.
Wow,
about.
that's great. That's
Mhm.
awesome. So yeah, that's good stuff. And
And
so
so far we have about 500.
blondes versus brunettes. You also,
That's all Annie.
No.
the Facebook page, so people can find you, is what
Yes. Well, right now it's Rivals.
with a
Blondes versus
Z, right?
Brunettes, but we're
It's changing.
You're changing
it's
it.
changing. We're
Okay,
converging the two sites.
converging. I like the sound of that.
But right now, their
What is the
new,
magic date?
their new Twitter and Instagram
Of conversion?
is
Conversion.
at BVBSALZ, which you can see on your
Yes.
screen right now.
Okay,
Twitter,
awesome,
Instagram.
wonderful.
Awesome. hmm
Well, thank you, Annie. Have a great day.
You're welcome.
So
Bye.
anyway,
Take it easy.
so it happens when you show up 5 minutes before the show's closing. No, but we got to go over a lot of the information, Annie. So
Oh,
it
good,
was
good.
so
Yeah,
it'll
thank
be
you.
great. So
And you're going to be there.
wow.
Does he get a free entry?
Do I- yeah. all right.
Yes, of
right,
course.
right.
But it costs to come out.
Does he have to wear a shirt?
March 2nd.
Do I get paid in
Wow.
food? Because that's where the money goes anyway.
Now, I heard y'all were thinking about
I'll
doing
buy you a hot
a
dog.
dunking booth after the game.
What?
Oh.
right?
Dunkin' Donuts
That's
booth.
possible, right?
Dunkin' Donuts.
I was getting a hose. Yeah.
Okay.
A hose?
You're getting hosed.
I got a hose so far.
Okay, then Roman can do
We're
that.
dunking hose.
I'm gonna get
That's
a
a way to
bucket.
raise some money.
I'm gonna get a bucket
Right.
and a hose.
So
Wow.
Roman
Right.
can do the wet T-shirt
I
contest.
got a few hoes I can send to you. We're gonna dunk them.
Angie and Momo.
Right, yeah, right. We raised a whole lot of money. It's amazing, dunking hose. You never would have thought. So, oh my gosh. Hey, so speaking of, I was mentioning food. So you guys saw it. Donald Trump had Big Macs and pizza for at the White House the other day for who was it again?
Clemson.
For Clemson. And so,
That's so funny.
so McDonald's is all like whatever, all all over the place. But I was laughing because I saw this McDonald's story where in Europe, there's a burger chain called Super Mac, and they were using the phrase Big Mac.
Oh.
Ooh.
And it went to like a lawsuit, whatever. And McDonald's lost.
Wow.
So there's
wow.
actually a different company now that can use
Big
the
Mac.
term Big Mac for their burger.
I think that's
yeah,
cool.
This is in Europe.
Yeah.
Ironically,
And,
that
Shame
was
on
my name when I worked at a strip club.
Was it
Next up
now?
is Big Mac.
Right,
Big Mac.
right.
Stage one, Big Mac.
Bring up Quarter Pounder, Chick-fil-A. Right.
Next up was Thunder.
Right, right.
Want some
Thunder.
ketchup
Fish
with that?
fillet. Right. Bring up chicken nuggets. What? This guy.
All them days were hungry and thirsty.
Would you like to supersize that? I think you already did. So nice. Good job. I need to.
And thank you for listening to the very last ever.
Pixar
Nice
didn't
show.
happen, Mike. Pixar
Not-
didn't happen.
hey.
I've told you my stripper story, right? One time that I stripped.
Um,
No? You're looking at me like you really want to hear it.
No, I don't remember. I think I
Everything.
probably hit myself with a hammer. So
What
I
is with
forget.
me and nudity lately?
Lately.
So Rebecca's asking why you didn't do the show without a shirt. She thought you were going to do
Because
it like
we
today,
needed more
like
voters.
today.
We needed more people
Yeah.
to share.
Yeah, Rebecca.
Chicken.
And we were close. Here we go. Called me out. No, we got to come on. We got to meet the criteria, people. Maybe we'll do another
Annie,
one.
earlier she posted "Take It Off," Roman. So
And she's
and
here.
she came
And she's
all the
here.
way here.
She got here late. If you got here on time, I'd have done it. If you got here on time, I'd have done it. 'Cause
Yeah,
then,
next time he wants to wear a yellow shirt underneath.
Yeah.
And your wife
Not
said,
a hot pink shirt.
Keep it on.
"I haven't
on.
done laundry, so
Right.
make that shirt last."
That's why I'm always wearing the same pink shirt. I've been wearing this shirt for 31 days straight.
It used to be white.
Right. It's all covered in Kool-Aid. So, but no, this is
No, going back to the whole McDonald's thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what they wanted. Maybe that's what they enjoyed. That's all I'm gonna say. Except they kept talking about Arby's so much, I went and had some Arby's the other day because of those stories.
man, those Arby's commercials. I like the guy's voice. We got the meats. I'm like,
That's
yeah.
what's his face?
Who?
That's so annoying.
Who does? Is it?
Oh, it's annoying. Yeah.
Who does
It's an
that
actor,
voice?
from Pulp Fiction and
The guy.
the guy.
Really?
The
It's
guy.
Ving Rhames.
Is it? Because it
Yep.
sounds familiar to me, but I just thought because I've heard it so many
How do you
times.
go from Pulp
You've had so
Fiction
many-
to Arby's? Like,
I've
We've had so many men whisper,
we got the meats. Yeah, back to my stripper days. So yeah, speaking of, so no, I like that. We
and,
got
and our new sponsor,
right.
Childcare
Right.
Childcare Center.
Kielbasa sausage. So yeah, but I don't know how we got on Arby's, but I haven't had meat in a while though, because I'm trying. I'm doing, like I said,
Why
this
not?
fasting
Oh,
for like
fasting.
21 days. I wasn't doing like any meat. And the other day I almost posted, but I had to check myself. I almost posted like, oh, I haven't had meat in a while, and I'm so dying for some
did
meat.
you
But I
do
know
the-
my friends, and I know how they are. And I can't make that kind of comment.
I would have if they didn't.
Right, because then Mike would make a poll. Who wants to see Roman eat meat?
Who
Let's
wants to
do
see take a
55%?
a 2-foot
Roman eats
salami.
meat on the air. Like what? No, just can't. So I already know how y'all are. But
See him mouth joust a 2-foot salami.
mouth joust. I don't even. hold on.
Hashtag mouth joust.
I need a sound effect
need a
for
sound
that.
effect for
Oh
that.
my god. Hold on. A toilet. I don't know. What, I
sounded
don't even,
kinda
I don't even know what that
like
sound
Bonnie
effect is.
on our team.
Hold on, I need a better one. There you go. That's a sneeze.
Yikes.
It's a nut shoot.
It's like-
I don't-
just
Sounds
press
like
all
it-
the buttons.
Sounds like meat
Put
sweat.
them all together.
What in the world? Where am I? A Bugs Bunny cartoon? Like this, those sound effects. All right, well, everybody, thank you for listening. It's been a fun show, and I feel an informative show. Sorry y'all didn't get to see me shirtless, but maybe next time. I'm down if you're down. So, people on radio, you would just have to imagine it.
Stay on Facebook Live.
yeah.
We will take the shirt off of him.
Right. Roman will slowly
We will tackle
remove.
him.
Right. Yeah. Right. Just get
will
assaulted on the
have
air.
the
There's got to be some
blondes
rules against
versus
that.
Brunettes tackle him. And
Right. Yeah. Right. There's got to be some
You're gonna
laws
become Me
being
Too
violated.
for the Me
Right.
Too.
My own. Right. My own. Meat too.
Me
Nice.
too.
Meat too. So.
Hashtag yo también.
Yeah. Right. So be sure to go and find the Blondes versus Brunettes page that they currently have that they're going to change and all this other stuff. And we'll keep talking about that.
act.alz.org.
act.alz.org. Perfect.
Make your donation.
And
Donate and
Or
join.
come join and play and have some really awesome fun.
yes, it is going to be a lot of fun. So everybody, please share our page, follow what we do. We put a lot of dumb stuff during the week, which is always fun and keeps your week fun. So thank you, Mike. Thank you, Angelita. And thank you, ladies.
Thanks.
All right, everybody,
Thank you.
be
Thanks.
safe. Don't drink and drive.
Yeah.
Go be awesome. Have a great night.
Good night.
Good night,
Studio
Facebook
audience.
Live.
Studio audience.
Right.
Should I stop?
Facebook Live. Thank you so much for
waiting for
hanging
you.
in there.
Hey, they're waiting for you to take off the blue shirt.
At least
Give him a little teaser. What? Da 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 da.
Wrong sound effect. Hold on. Give me see. Hold on. Let me see the one. Which one? Which one was it?
Oh my God. Which one's your favorite?
So she goes, oh. We need a sound effect for you taking off the shirt, and this is the one she did.
It was an
Órale.
perfect.
That would have been a take off the pants, not take off the shirt.
Bye, Facebook Live.
Oh my God.
That was so bad.
I wanted it to hit the camera, but that's fine.
That's his phone.